I'd like to talk about the feeling of loneliness and um, how that manifests, because it seems like a delicate balance of being super in touch with your source and the very pure, clear vessel, and then also balancing the connection to others um, and the engagement with others, reaction to others, and all of that, and feeling isolated. If that makes
Yeah.
sense.
So loneliness actually has kind of a spectrum of different meanings. And so when you say loneliness, what do you mean?
Um, I guess for me, it's more physical and geographical. Like the people in my life are very spread out, so I can't, from a practical sense, see people regularly, spend time with them, you know, at close, like intimate setting.
Yeah. So again, but the feeling of loneliness is like a sense of lack, right?
Mhm.
And so what are you lacking?
Um, all of those things: physical contact, intimacy, uh, having activities with people, lacking plans with people, just having things to look forward to do together.
So things to look forward to. And if we go one level deeper, so the lack means that's necessary. And what's necessary about those things for you? What does it solve for you?
Um, it solves a good loving feeling. Um,
Okay, so what's really lacking then is a good loving feeling.
mm.
And what's the lack of a good loving feeling?
I mean, it can come from yourself, but I think it can also come from others. Um, and that, I guess that goes back to the original question. It's like when you're so super, you know, loving and nurturing to yourself, but that might isolate you, or like,
Remember to speak in the I. So the fear is if you were really loving to yourself, is that you might be isolated.
maybe, yeah.
So if you really just dropped in and were loving with yourself and just totally content, that there's something at risk.
Yeah, my ability to focus my energy on other people.
I see. So the fear is if you got really peaceful in yourself, is that you'd lose your ability to focus on other people.
Maybe, I don't know, it doesn't sit exactly right with me, but
Adjust it so it's
what
right.
I said.
Yeah, adjust it so it's right.
um yeah, I guess but I feel like I can have both. I can be at peace with myself and still put energy on, to others, or want some sort of energy exchange with others.
And what emotional quality are you feeling as we're talking about this?
Confusion.
Confusion. So there's this quality of confusion. And what's confusing?
um Looking for that balance, or why I don't feel a balance.
I see. And what's not balanced?
The energy I'm putting on myself versus the energy I'm putting outside of myself.
So it's important that be balanced.
Yeah.
What's important about balancing that?
I think because it allows sharing of emotions. So it's like if I feel love, I don't have to feel that alone. I can share that with someone. If I feel excitement, I don't have to hold that alone. I can share that with someone else.
And what's important about that?
Human connection.
And what's important about that?
I think it's like biological at that point.
Well, but right now we're working at level 2 consciousness, and I'm asking you these questions. I mean, there's a bunch I could say on the topic, right? But in inquiry, like all these things that you're telling me, I can tell are a mental construct. And so in asking these questions, I got you confused, which is cognitive dissonance, is why am I thinking these things? Or are these things at odds? Or is there something at risk? Because you have a majority consciousness, egoic, belief system about that. So I'm kind of and you're starting to get confused because I haven't asserted anything. I'm just asking you questions about it. And you're saying, wow, I wonder if this does hold up. And that's like you're getting into being coachable, and you're allowing those thoughts, beliefs, and ideas to start breaking down. And then you can see how uncomfortable it is. You're getting a little squirmy and a little uncomfortable. Wait a minute, this is my solid ground of how I know that life works and my beliefs and ideas and concepts about life. So just in asking the questions, you can see, oh, I'm getting confused, meaning there's cognitive, wait a minute, my brain is losing control here, right? And then it's like, right? So we're just breaking it down to understand that, like, let's say that you were just so loving to yourself that you just really didn't need anybody else. Let's just say, right? What would be the fear?
Societal alienation. I don't know, level 2.
Yeah, societal alienation. And what would it mean if you were alienated from society?
That I'd be alone.
Yeah, that's right. And when did you learn that it's bad to be alone?
When I was brought up on a socialist commune, and we didn't really do much of anything alone.
I see. And was there a belief or idea that being alone or being separate was bad?
Wasn't so much bad. It was just like taught that the community was the only way that things function. Like everybody was necessary.
So this is the way majority consciousness, the only way that things function is through community. So you've got this imprinted in you before you could even choose whether you wanted to keep that idea. And then it is very active in your life that I have to have community and be in community to function. And it's, you may not need that belief anymore. What would it be like if you didn't have that belief?
I'd be okay with the life I'm living right now.
Yeah. Oh, well, that'd be terrible. You'd be some kind of capitalist, nonconformist, monk. Yeah. So this just interesting because I don't know why I go in a certain direction, but I could kind of feel that this is a construct rather than something that that's why I say there's a broad range of what loneliness could mean. What it means is, or at least on one level for you, is you're supposed to be in connection with other people. Have to, ought to be, you're not whole without it. All these kind of things that got drummed into you in your cult that you're growing up in. We all grew up in a cult, but you grew up in this socialist community cult. And it's, so, probably before you could even think, it was just like air. And now we get to question it, and you can just feel that possibility breaking down and just see what it's like. Then, if there's not this idea or belief that you're not okay alone, then you can just feel it out and say, what would really serve me in this moment? What am I feeling from source? Well, it's just appropriate to go out and connect with people, or it's just appropriate to be here with myself. And there's no right or wrong about any of that. It's just your essence being expressed. And I think that might make a big difference. How do you feel talking about it?
Yeah, I feel more accepting of it, of the thoughts that like were behind the feeling that I thought I was feeling.
Yeah. Well, you see, it can happen either way. Is emotions can generate thought in the form of like a coping mechanism or protection or those kind of things. So I can have repressed emotional pain, and then I can try to figure out how to make sure not to get any more or not to have it activated. But thoughts can also, I was dictating the book, or doing the audio book today, and I was reading that section today, so it was kind of forefront in my awareness. And it was like, yeah, and mind can also generate emotions. So if I come up with an idea, this is right or that this is wrong, is then I can feel anger. Or oftentimes I see people making them sad, like when somebody dies or something bad happens to somebody that's not even directly, is I'm just supposed to feel bad about this, when it's actually not even directly affecting me. Of course, I can see or watch, something that makes me feel bad that triggers my own pain. But we really don't feel too bad, about what's going on out there if we're not either in a mental construct about how things should be, or being triggered in our emotional pain. And that's, even kind of when we're imagining, that's part of what some people were talking about, is just like being an approval of, oh, that was yours. It being an approval of just what's happening right now. And, to do that, you got to get all the emotional pain out in this, at least whatever's present in this moment, and all the beliefs, ideas, or thoughts about what is, how it should be. Then you get to level 3 and it's like, oh, what does source want from me? Or what do I want? And so, you might just practice by, you're at home and you have the thought, oh, I should be with people more. And then just stop and feel if you want to be. Check source for it. Or am I just really enjoying my time here?